We'll begin with a live look near 34th and Portland right now. Minneapolis city crews were there clearing the street blocked by protesters since the shooting death of Renee Good. They were saying it was a major safety concern for people living in that area, delaying fire and EMS response times. Of course, you can still see the memorial is there. It's going to stay there, but all the police tape and barricades were taken down just moments ago. We do want to welcome you in, though, on this Friday morning. I'm Alicia Lewis alongside Jason Hackett.
We will have team coverage on the continued fallout from Wednesday's shooting in just a few minutes here. But first, let's get out to meteorologist John Ziegler for a look at our forecast. Good morning, John.
Hey, good morning. Yeah, how about the rain yesterday? We had some wet flakes mixing in, but it was mainly rain, but it was a true mix that fell yesterday across the region. Now, we picked up a decent chunk of it, about 1/10 of an inch here in the Twin Cities, 0.12. Now, when you get up to Maple Grove, Rogers area, very little, only a couple of sprinkles up there. Go to St. Cloud, nothing fell. Now, with that being said, southeast of us, 1/2 inch of rain last night. In Rochester, a full inch. In La Crosse, in fact, they had flood watches out in southern Wisconsin yesterday. This was a potent low from Colorado. We were just on the edge of this thing. Now, the cold air is lagging. It was too far behind the system to make it a snowstorm. And now we're starting to tap into some of this colder air. We are below freezing now. So watch out for, of course, some icy spots. How about Thief River Falls at 0? Now, if these cold conditions, if this setup was here yesterday, this would be a full out 10 to 14 inch snowstorm for areas like Rochester and La Crosse. But the cold air was one day behind. It was what I call lagging. Now, the cold air is going to come in here, and we are going to be seeing that later tonight. Now, today it's not cold yet, at least here in the metro. 31 degrees, mostly cloudy. These increasing clouds, they come along the next Clipper system. Now, that Clipper drives down temperatures. We'll track out your Saturday, even some flurries in your forecast. Morning, Cece.
Good morning, 6:02. Yeah, you know, when that refreeze happens, it creates for slick conditions on the roads. And we have seen one vehicle spin out this morning up in Little Canada. That cleared, but it just shows that things are still slick this morning, similar to yesterday morning. But still, at this time, only seen one spin out, which is better compared to yesterday. Live in White Bear Lake here. Things quiet out there, but you'll have to watch those intersections, too. That's why I pulled that live picture up. Seeing here, traffic flow, things look great this morning and really should stay like that at least for the next hour or so.
Cece, thank you. We got to get back to our top story this morning. More federal agents are coming to Minneapolis as tensions rise over this week's deadly ICE shooting. The extra surge expected to last through the weekend.
This morning, multiple rallies and calls to action are planned over 24 hours. We have team coverage as we look ahead. Let's start with Audrey Russo with a major change in the shooting investigation. Audrey.
Yeah, at 9 a.m. this morning, city and state lawmakers are going to demand that the FBI cooperate with Minnesota's Bureau of Criminal Apprehension on this investigation. They're going to be doing that at 9 o'clock at Minneapolis City Hall behind me. Within the last 24 hours, Minnesota's BCA says that the FBI has cut off its access to evidence, case files, witness statements in this investigation. Take a look at this video. This was from the early stages of the investigation on Wednesday, just as the scene was getting processed. We reached out to the U.S. Attorney's Office for more information on why they're denying BCA access. We haven't heard back, but Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem offered this as an explanation.
They have not been cut out. They don't have any jurisdiction in this investigation.
It feels very, very difficult that we will get a fair outcome.
Now, you heard Governor Walz weighing in on this issue. When this news came down yesterday, our newsroom got tons of statements from different political leaders, from different agencies, all talking about this BCA access. But there's actually another facet of this investigation that's also getting traction, and that's the issue of immunity for ICE agents. I'll have more on that coming up in about 30 minutes, but for now, I'll send things back to you.
All right, we will talk to you then. Audrey Russo reporting live. Thank you. This morning, the Minneapolis School District is closed after this intense encounter with ICE agents outside of Roosevelt High School. This happened just hours after Renee Good was shot and killed by an ICE agent.
Educators and families are speaking out this morning, and our Morgan Wolf is in front of Minnesota Education's headquarters with more on this. Hey, Morgan.
Hey, so we are expecting to hear from educators and Minneapolis families around 10 a.m. as they are speaking out against ICE in their schools and around their schools. Let's show you the video of what happened Wednesday shortly after Renee Good was shot. This is the scene at Roosevelt High School where you can see students and educators having conflict with these ICE agents. One man was tackled to the ground. We were told that as an educator there. There were students at one point even throwing snowballs at these federal agents. One student says that they were hit with deterrent from these agents there. Here's their reaction to all of this unfolding on Wednesday.
It's still really scary to see our friends and teachers get tear gassed.
I don't know, we've been through a lot. I feel like this is too much to handle.
So according to DHS, they say that there was a U.S. citizen that was impeding some of their actions that they had happening blocks away. That led to then a half-a-mile chase that ended up at Roosevelt High School. And that is where they say that this educator was that person allegedly impeding their operations. So teachers today and educators, when they sent out that press release, they say that that educator has been released from ICE custody. So we'll have a lot more on this coming up. Also, I do want to mention too, as we do not have school in Minneapolis today, last night there was information that was shared that they will have options now. Students will have options to learn remotely leading into February. Back to you.
All right, good that they have that option. Morgan Wolf reporting live for us this morning. Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's not just Roosevelt High School closed. Several other schools across the Twin Cities metro are also closed today due to safety concerns, including Fridley Public Schools. Columbia Heights Schools is also closed today. That district announced students there will instead have a flex learning day.
This morning, we're learning more about the ICE agent accused of shooting Renee Good. According to court documents, it was Jonathan Ross, an agent with a decade of experience. The same agent dragged by a vehicle in Bloomington several months ago. So according to a DOJ statement, Ross was trying to arrest a convicted sex offender. They say he broke the car window and the suspect drove away, dragging Ross nearly 100 yards down the street. Right now, it's unclear if Officer Ross is on administrative leave, which is standard. We're also learning more about Renee Good, the 37-year-old woman who died in the shooting. Good's family tells our affiliate in Denver that she's from the Colorado Springs area and recently lived in Kansas City, Missouri before moving here about 8 months ago.
She's from here. One of our own was just murdered in cold blood. For what reason?
A Good's ex-husband told the Associated Press she has 3 children. Before the shooting happened, he says she was on her way home after dropping off her 6-year-old child.
We're also following a developing situation in Portland. The FBI is now investigating another shooting by federal agents. 2 people were injured there. Border Patrol officials say a person tried to run the agents over during an attempted arrest, and an agent fired a defensive shot. The car left the scene, but the 2 people went to the hospital. Agents believe both are affiliated with a Venezuelan gang. Make sure you stick with us here on KARE 11 as we're learning more about the shootings and as things continue to develop today and throughout the weekend.